My name is Duro Olowu. I'm a Nigerian-born British fashion designer. I design women's wear mainly, and I'm the curator of the exhibition Making Unmaking at the Camden Art Centre. It's a huge responsibility to have 70 artists, dead and alive, whose work you're responsible for, shown in conjunction with each other. And I wanted to have some consistency, but also some conceptual ambiguity in the thread that runs through the show. The main criteria for each artist is that they made what I, perhaps subjectively considered important art, but hopefully the public objectively would consider important moving art. A record of an era, of an epoch, and of the artist's state of mind. And of course, in dealing with these kinds of works which have a strong tendency to relate to a process and portrayal, there's a lot of work that is photography, that has very strong leanings towards surrealism, both past and present. Claude Cahun from the 30s, Léonce Raphael, who's living and working now, Lorna Simpson, who introduces photography in her collages. And work like that had to speak to sculpture, slightly more conceptual or slightly more figurative painting by Lynette Yadom-Boakye, Chrysophili. All these things end up telling one story. One artist believes in the power of their efforts, whether it's a known artist, whether it's Dorothea Tanning, or the man or woman that wove a 19th century fabric. It is that effort that we appreciate. But what has happened here is different variations of that have been put in one space. This was really about bringing out the beauty of all kinds of artistic connotations, sexual connotations, racial connotations, gender connotations, ideas of existence in a world that requires you to create a private space in order to really create. Growing up in Nigeria, my mother was Jamaican, and there was this collective of artists that would make print fabric for furnishing and things. And that's how my mother did up the house, curtains, etc. The idea for that wall was to evoke that sort of idea of a palazzo, a grand house, or even a small house in certain cultures where people do not place their portraits of friends and family on the ordinary wall. They sort of elevate them by draping the wall and then placing them. So this is a sort of slightly bohemian, but yet very contemporary version of that allows the audience to look up at work, not just in relation to status, but in relation to how much attention you're giving it. You're almost looking like a history of painting, photography, etc. I don't think it's ever been the case that Louise Bourgeois, Meredith Frampton, Chrysophili, Lynette, Hamidou Mega, etc. have ever been in the same show, yet more so on the same wall. And I find that exciting. Every artist in this show has fought in some way for a means of expression that I feel would appeal to an audience regardless of age, nationality, etc. Every artist in this show has thought that what they were doing was special enough to them and tried to make it special to other people. And every artist in this show has been generous in a way of exposing themselves and their innermost feelings and ideas in their work that will stand the test of time, which I hope is a suitable kind of assemblage for Camden Arts.